So today we're going to be doing an alternate World War II, but Germany still lost. So I've already made this map here, and it's like after many years, and then like everything's like this now. But anyway, so the Treaty of Versailles wasn't that hard on Germany and like the other treaties. Um, they still got to keep some Turkey lost quite a lot, but not much. I think I'm gonna sneeze. Frig. Anyway, um, Bulgaria, since they left the war like months early and joined on the Allies, so they actually got to have some stuff and to keep their things. Um, Serbia collapsed. Now it's only the northern part, which that's all they have now, and um, Kosovo united with Albania, and in the northern Macedonian regions united with Bulgaria. Um, Bosnia is much larger now that since Croatia didn't wasn't like made yet, wasn't made in this universe. So they're much larger, and they have a much larger coast. Hungary gets a coast, um, Austria gets a coast, and then all the Austrians that are like around the Sudetenland. Because if you look at a map of all the ethnics of Austria-Hungary, you can see that there was Austrians all around here, so they would get to keep that. This part of Slovakia just says that there's no point in being an independent country, we might as well just join them. We're stronger together. Um, Italy didn't get much stuff. Also, since it wasn't that hard on Germany, World War II never even happened because they wasn't as weakened to the point of how they were. So Hitler didn't start World War II, also because he managed to get into art school. So so in this universe he didn't do anything wrong. But anyway, so Austria has plans to make like their own little empire again. Hungary has plans to expand their regions. But anyway, we're just gonna get into this. So, let me just change to Austria because I'm gonna be playing as Austria. Anyway, so the first thing that the Austrians do is, since Czechia is weak, they annex a little bit more. So does Hungary. They just annex that before both of them then invade Czechia, and Czechia cannot resist, so they collapse. And now Hungary gets a sizable amount. They still wanted this, but they're like, we did get a good chunk out of that. And now Austria focuses on here, so they land there and on these islands, annexing it, like how Russia done it to Crimea in our universe. But anyway, they also land here and they launch a full invasion of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Then um, they start looking to Poland, and they have lands there from them. Also, Germany annexes that from them now. But they can't really get it because of Hungary. So they start plans to invade Hungary, but they know that since they're much larger than them, they're going to be stronger. So they're going to have to wait until they invade another country to strike. So that's what they do. They demand the rest of I'm tired. So they demand the rest of Transylvania from like southern Transylvania from Romania, and Romania declines. So Hungary goes to war, taking those two regions quickly, but failing to take that. So it's basically stalemate at this point. And that's the point when Austria takes those islands from them and starts and annexes that and starts to invade them. So now they have to redirect troops from there, the which allows the Romanians to advance. And at this point, Hungary's beginning to fall, and as they're losing rapidly, and they can't keep up. But they did manage to push the Austrians back by a lot. So the Austrians were eventually pushed back to the point where they had to regroup. And this part was encircled again. So, at this point, they start their regrouping, and they only the Hungarians don't have to have much men in there because they're trying to regroup and stuff, like the Hungarians. So they push into there, and then they just say, "All right, let's have peace," and like the Romanians accept. And since now Hungary sees Romania weakened, so they take some stuff from them. But they get pushed back. So they only got that, and well, they got pushed back to there before these troops got encircled, but it was mainly a stalemate because they kept on getting pushed back and stuff. So the borders didn't change. But anyway, so now that they have to move their troops from there, and meanwhile while they were making the peace treaty, they've lost lands, and they've even lost Budapest. So now they've retreated to a city, like to somewhere who's over here. We have the Austrians have no intel, but eventually they get destroyed, and Austria annexes them. But now the Hungarians are demanding independence and rebelling. So Austria says to them that if you stay with us, then we can reform an empire that we once had. So after a lot of thinking, they start making plans because they both want to have their own kingdoms and empires and whatever they want. So they both start planning, and the old empire of Austria-Hungary did need some improving, and so they start improving by deporting all the ethnics, like the Ottomans did after the war. after World War I, they did that in this universe. So they got to the point where, okay, everything's settled now, let's settle on a flag. So at the first early stages, but they would change it very soon. So they would use this one at first, but then when they got all their old lands back, they would change it to their old one. So now they were ready to invade Poland. So they start invading Poland. They say to Poland, okay, is it time for peace? And they decline. So they keep on pushing, eventually capturing Warsaw. And that's when they surrender. So a peace treaty was signed where if they would have accepted, well, they ended up, the Austro-Hungarians ended up taking more. Now, the only thing in their way was Ukraine, so, and Italy, like, because this part. So they started plans on invading both of them, and since Ukraine was weaker than them, they have been making allies with, like, these regions here. The Baltics have been trying to, like, make their own alliance, and then the Nordics. Also, there's no alliances, I forgot to mention that. Because there's no need. And Italy is stronger than them, so they start planning what to do. And since they can't beat all these three combined, they would have to wait until they're fighting someone else, which actually eventually happens as Transnistria revolts, but instead of it being like the remains of the Soviet Union, it's the remains of the Russian Tsar. So now from that, there's a new Tsar in Moscow, and they want to bring back their old empire that they had. So the first thing that they do is they invade Estonia. Then they annex everything. Then they invade Latvia, same, and then Lithuania. Meanwhile, Germany took this northern bit. Then they start their massive operation by first dealing with Moldova. Now these two declared war on them. It was easy to push into Belarus until they got to these rivers where they managed to hold. Except for there they got flanked and it collapsed, so they gone. From here they managed to take several bits of Ukraine. They even managed to take that and this of Crimea, but they ended up needing to stop. They even took that, but then it was a stalemate as Ukraine was able to hold. Now at that time, the Austro-Hungarians joined in and invaded some more of Ukraine, allowing Russia to push further, eventually getting to the river where that Kyiv is right here. So now they're threatening Kyiv, so they order a mass retreat to that same river, and they decide to hold there. The Russians push to there and eventually encircle all of them, so any outside help won't arrive at Ukraine. So all the Ukrainians eventually retreat to Kyiv, but then they collapse. R.I.P. Everyone say rest in peace, Ukraine. But in this universe, our universe, I do want Ukraine to win the Russia-Ukraine war. I support Ukraine. Ukraine can do this. But anyway, while I was talking about that, the new Tsar invades Poland, taken Poland in like a couple of weeks. Then they invade several bits of Georgia, not these two. But then Georgia gets invaded by Azerbaijan, which also takes the rest of the Caucasus. Now, Russia invades Azerbaijan at this point, and they can't hold on, and they ended up dying. Russia annexes this region and this region of Kazakhstan. So, there's a lot shaved off from Kazakhstan. They take that from Finland. But back to Austria. Um, France took Sardinia, and a part of this, which weakened Italy a lot. And Switzerland annexed some regions of the mountains. And now, the Austrian Hungarians managed to jump in and take that. So now, at this point, they return to their old flag, and Austria-Hungary is revived.
I hope you enjoyed this stream, everyone.
I'll be releasing a video, I think, pretty soon, so just keep an eye out for that if you guys want to. But it's your choice, you don't have to do anything I say. Anyway, so goodbye everyone, and I hope you guys have a good day. Oh wait, before I go, if this still is in the stream, I will be doing another one after this one on a different Roblox game.